Welcome back to What Are the Odds? I'm your host, Daniel Lasecki, and our guest today is Nathalie Barajas. Natalie, thank you for being here today.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here today.
Thank you. Our topic today is going to be family. We'll jump right into it with a question. How likely were you to have been born? How close were your parents to meeting? What about meeting, dating, breaking up, marrying other people, and then getting back together with each other? It's probably hard to say without the appropriate context, which is why I'm going to ask Natalie a bunch of questions now. Natalie, thanks for being here today. Let's get into it. How did your mom get to America?
My mom, my mom was raised in Jalisco, Mexico, at like a really small town. It was like St. Marie, and she had a family already. She had a husband. At the time, she was pregnant when she crossed the border with 3 other kids. They walked towards Mexico all the way to Texas, and then they rode a bus all the way to Michigan.
They walked from Mexico to Texas?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. My sister, who's like a lot older, tells me that she still remembers the time like crossing the border. It was all deserts. Like there was barely any land. It was just pure sand. And
Wow.
she tells me that during that time it was like very scary, but she just remembers it like a dream.
That does sound like a bit of a fever dream to me. Did she ever tell you how long it took to get from, like, how many days that took?
I remember like saying like it only took like 3 days. Like my mom told me that they didn't stop walking until they made it, because if they got caught, then who knows what, where they would be.
Mm-hmm.
So like during that time, my mom told me like she had many like scars on her legs, which is the reason why till this day she asks me to massage her feet every time she comes home.
Oh, wow. And had she met your father at this time?
No. During this time, my mom and dad were not together.
Oh, was she seeing someone else?
She was married with this man for like many years until he died at a car crash like near like in Detroit. He died while drunk driving, and so my mom was a widow for many years until like I guess she met my dad at like a car business.
Mm. So your dad was working at a car business then?
Yeah, and my mom, well, how my mom and my dad met, it was an interesting story, because my mom, she loves flowers, so she worked at like a florist job, and one day she called off sick, and after that day she came back to the place where she worked, and her manager looked at her with a confusing face and told her, "Why are you still here? Didn't you get the memo? Like the ICE came, and so like they deported everyone at like the store." And so my mom was really like shocked that she missed a day where she could have like went back, and she could like would have been separated from her family, because all her kids were in Michigan during that time. And then she tried to find a job nearby, which ended up like at a car shop with my dad. And during this time, my dad, he was a citizen. He came here he came to America when he was like 16. He didn't like it. He went back. His dad promised him to take him back to America at a better time, because he couldn't speak English and he couldn't like get a job. And so my dad served the military in like Mexico for like a year, and then that gave him a visa to go like to fly over to America. And later on he like got married with a white woman, and she gave her like gave him papers, so he became a citizen. But they divorced later on because like many kind of issues during in that relationship, since it was like a really early age relationship. And so my dad got divorced, he got married, divorced, and then he met my mom. And then my mom and dad met at that place, and like they got married. After 2 years, my mom and my dad, my mom got pregnant, but she miscarried due to a car crash. And then a couple months later, my sister was born, and then after a year later, me, and then 2 years later, then my brother.
That sounds like a lot. That's pretty crazy that your mom called off work and then missed an ice raid by chance. Do you ever wonder, like, what your life could look like today if she hadn't? Do you think you would still be here if she had been like caught up in that?
I feel like I wouldn't have been here at all if my mom was sent back to Mexico, because it wouldn't be a chance where my dad, like, they met. And I feel like if my mom was sent back to Mexico, I feel like she wouldn't be looking for any kind of like romance. She would probably just want to get back to her family. So there would have been a slim chance, or none, that I would have been born if she got, sent back.
Let's go back to your father. What does he do for work now?
He works at a car factory, Chevy Stellantis, I think.
Stellantis, yes.
Stellantis, yeah. He works there. He's been working there for like since I was like a kid. They changed their names many times, so I really don't know what's gonna be the new name.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. And my mom, she owns a business now. She owns a cleaning business, so she like makes her own money, and so I guess later on they both got divorced. My dad is single, and my mom remarried with someone else.
So it sounds like your family tree has a lot of roots. So what's the structure of your family looking like as of today?
Today, all of my siblings, the oldest is 43 years old, and the youngest is 19, and I have 8 siblings.
8.
Yes.
So holidays are pretty busy then.
Yes.
That's a lot of family to see on the holidays.
Yeah. Well, my dad is like the oldest sibling. So is my mom is the oldest sibling compared to both sides of the family, and they both have like around 8 or 9 siblings. So it's really interesting during the holidays.
Well, that's lovely. Nathalie, thank you for being here today. I'm glad that your parents went through all they did to get you here to be on the show today, and thank you for talking.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll see you next time.